So, if you start saving money now for the next 20 years, how much would you save? We would never know, because if we don't have a specific reason to save, we would be pretty clueless on how much that we can save. Now, if the reason is clear or we have a very strong goal in order for us to save, we can specifically know on how much money that we need to accumulate or how much money that we need to save monthly in order for us to accumulate and come up with a perfect plan. Hi, I'm Kishen Karul. I'm a financial planner with JK Legacy Resources, and I'm keen on helping people to plan their savings strategically. Now, what do I mean by that? When you want to plan strategically, you have to take account on what's going to happen in the next years to come. For an example, long-term savings of 20 years, it often correlates with the inflation rate. Now, what is inflation rate? Let me give you an example. The value of the money, 100 ringgit, is not the same compared to the value of the money of 100 ringgit 10 years ago, which is on 2011. Similarly, the value of the 100 ringgit would depreciate in its value in the next 10 years or 20 years to come. Now, this will eventually affects our long-term savings. Now, how can we beat the inflation? So first of all, we need to know what is the rate of the inflation right now annually. It's from 3% to 4%. So if you decided that you want to beat inflation and you want to come up with a savings plan to beat it, so you need to know how much would be the investment return rate. And that rate should be higher than the inflation rate. Now, let's go deep into it. Okay, so we have a plan here with an average of 8% to 15% for the return rate. We can actually solve this problem because it's higher than the inflation rate. Now let's focus on look at the numbers for us to understand. For instance, let's say we want to save 250 ringgit every month for the next 20 years, which will accumulate up to 60,000 ringgit without interest. Now, let's say with this plan, we are going to benefit with an interest, the return of investment of 11%, which is an average from 8% up to 15% for the next 20 years annually. So when we add this interest into this annually for the next 20 years, our savings will accumulate up to 105,000 ringgit in the next 20 years to come, compared to without interest 60,000 ringgit, and with interest it grows up to 105k. Now this is what I came up with a plan of beating inflation, because the inflation rate will be 3 to 4%, but you actually gain, you are in the gaining side, because the interest of you returning back the investment is much higher than the inflation rate. So we are in the gaining side and the plan is ready. Now the question here is, are you prepared or do you have a plan for your savings? Because this plan, we can customize it according to how much money that you want to save every month, or how much accumulated money that you want to have at the end of the 20 years. It can be anything according to your preference. Now, the question, throw to yourself, how much money that you want to save? Let's have a discussion on it. Thank you.